How this opportunity was created?
Well, through several things. First, we know that there was a large influx of capital into the U.S. economy around 2000, starting in the late 1990s, early 2000. Even though we had had our problems, that we became a huge source of surplus capital flowing in. So we were awash in capital. Interest rates were going down. We had too much capital, in some sense, and we didn't know what to do with it. This is kind of something that happens more in less developed countries traditionally, where you get sometimes called hot capital or hot money. What happens is you had a big influx of capital, a big influx of reserves and so forth. At the same time, you had a growth of an industry, this idea of credit, these swaps, credit default opportunities, bundling of loans that was never previously in place. And it was allowed to operate in an environment without any regulation whatsoever. So there were a lot of factors that were going on simultaneously. A huge flood of money, which went into the housing market, which was essentially giving people who were very poor with credit risks loans, and then thinking that you could bundle those loans, discount them, and through some kind of averaging, through some kind of notion of risk arbitrage, protect the organization issuing the loans against the risk. And of course, because of the bundling and the way it was done, a lot of organizations were able to essentially pass the risk on to others. They bought the loans, and then they could refinance the loans, they would get credit for the loans, and government agencies would support the loans, but they wouldn't intervene in the operation of this economy. So what you had was a very big plunge of risk-taking. But I stress it wasn't that people's fundamental greed hadn't changed. It wasn't like somebody had suddenly gotten greedier. It's just that the opportunities had changed the scale of everything. I mean, just the amount of these credit defaults, the amount of credit that was actually created in these AIG guaranteed loans and so forth, that became so huge, and it grew so rapidly within a very short space of time. That led to a financial instability that people worried about. There were economists who worried about it, but nobody took much note of it. Because there were many reasons, right? It was very nice to have credit supported. It was very nice. The idea that poor people could buy homes, that was a good idea. So many people supported this. And for a while, it looked like it was a good deal. Because remember, a lot of these loans were issued on the hope that home prices would go up and go up and go up. And in fact, historically, that was true. So what people were doing was taking what's called an extrapolation, just a naive extrapolation. It's assuming that what went on in the past is going to go on in the future. And that actually is simply false. We saw that it started fading. And with it, the expectations were substantially reduced.
Okay.